The grand experiment in the Boston frontcourt has completely fallen apart right before our eyes. Fans had massive expectations when the front office executed a massive trade deadline blockbuster. They shipped away Anfernee Simons in a bold move designed to secure veteran center Nikola Vucevic. The ultimate goal was to add a highly skilled big man who could solidify a weak frontcourt rotation. Management envisioned him becoming the perfect final piece for a deep and grueling playoff push. There was even genuine optimism that he might accept a team-friendly discount to remain in town. Many believed he would sign a brand new contract once his current agreement expired this coming July. But the reality of the situation took a very dark turn as the regular season transitioned into the playoffs. Neither of those positive outcomes seems remotely possible at this current stage of the offseason. National media insiders have already begun reporting that his time in New England is officially over. Respected basketball reporter Marc Stein noted last week that a departure is essentially guaranteed. Now the former All-Star has publicly revealed his personal mindset heading into the open market. He recently sat down for a candid interview with a major media outlet from his native Montenegro. He spoke directly to Vigesti on Monday to clarify his ultimate goals for the remainder of his career. He firmly stated that he plans to remain in the association and secure a brand new contract soon. He told reporters that he expects an offer to materialize and that a new door will open for him. His ultimate goal is clearly to continue playing professional basketball at the highest possible level. But it is incredibly telling that he did not specifically mention returning to the Boston roster. At this exact moment, he sounds completely content to sign a contract with any other franchise. This perspective makes perfect sense when you analyze exactly how his brief tenure actually unfolded. The veteran big man simply never gelled with the established core the way the coaching staff hoped. The tactical vision of pairing his elite passing with dynamic perimeter scorers never truly materialized. A massive part of this failure was entirely out of his control, due to a highly unfortunate medical setback. He suffered a broken right ring finger that forced him to miss an entire month of crucial basketball action. That specific injury robbed him of incredibly valuable opportunities to build chemistry with the starters. He could not participate in the complex offensive sets or learn the intricate defensive switching schemes. When he finally returned to the hardwood, he looked entirely disconnected from the flow of the game. This lack of rhythm culminated in a highly frustrating viewing experience during the postseason. He was ultimately relegated to the bench during the crushing elimination loss against the Philadelphia 76ers. Watching a high-profile acquisition sit helplessly during a playoff game was a bitter pill to swallow. The coaching staff simply could not trust him to execute the required defensive assignments under pressure. Furthermore, he was completely shielded from the media following that premature playoff exit. He was never formally asked to address the reporters or explain his perspective on the overall collapse. In other words, the writing has been on the wall for several weeks regarding his impending departure. If you want to stay completely updated on all these tactical roster changes, please like the video and subscribe. Your daily support allows us to continue breaking down the most important basketball developments on the internet. The statistical production during his short stint perfectly illustrates exactly why the experiment failed. He appeared in just 16 regular season games for the team following the massive deadline deal. During those limited appearances, he averaged a highly disappointing 9.7 points per contest. He also pulled down just 6.6 rebounds while dishing out 2 bare assists on a nightly basis. He struggled massively to find any sort of consistent touch when trying to put the ball in the basket. He sank a very poor 43.9% of his overall field goal attempts from the floor. His perimeter spacing was equally brutal as he connected on just 34% of his deep shots. He openly admitted during his recent interview that there were both good and bad moments during his time. He placed a massive amount of blame on the timing of his finger injury for his lack of production. He explained that getting hurt right before the end of the regular season destroyed his momentum entirely. It prevented him from finding the right rhythm and figuring out his exact role within a brand new system. It is honestly tough to blame the veteran for wanting to explore entirely different professional opportunities. He so obviously did not fit into the fast-paced and switch-heavy scheme that the coaching staff demands. He told reporters that he will patiently wait for free agency to officially open before making any choices. He wants to evaluate which clubs show genuine interest before he decides the absolute next step of his journey. Despite all the clear signs pointing toward his exit, he did seem to slightly push back against recent reports. He claimed to have very little concrete information and brushed off the current media chatter as pure speculation. Perhaps he was not directly targeting the specific report from Marc Stein with that dismissive comment today. But that particular report is the only significant noise we have heard regarding his impending free agency. It might just be a standard player response to deflect attention away from his upcoming contract negotiations. But it remains a very interesting detail from a surprisingly open discussion about his professional future. The front office now faces a massive challenge in trying to replace his theoretical production on the court. They gave up a highly valuable young asset to acquire him, and now they have a glaring hole in the paint. The pressure is completely on the executives to find a reliable center who can actually anchor the defense. They need someone who can stay healthy and absorb the complex tactical demands of a true championship contender. The failure of this specific trade serves as a harsh reminder of how difficult mid-season acquisitions can be. Integrating a major piece requires immense repetition and perfect health, which simply never happened here. Fans can only hope that management learns from this misstep and targets a more seamless fit this summer. The championship window is strictly defined by the prime years of their homegrown superstar perimeter talents. They cannot afford to waste another entire season experimenting with pieces that do not perfectly fit the puzzle. The coming weeks will reveal exactly how the front office plans to pivot away from this failed acquisition. They must act decisively and aggressively to ensure the roster is fully prepared for a deep run next year. The entire basketball world will be watching closely to see where the veteran big man eventually lands. But it is overwhelmingly clear that his next professional chapter will not take place in New England.